Khamis.
Thank you, Mayor. And so just to be clear, I don't think that today's actions are going to be the panacea of solving the global warming, as I think was eloquently stated by several people, including Dave Pochel, whose opinion I respect greatly. But it will put San Jose on the path to a cleaner mix of energy. It will help us meet state-mandated clean energy goals, and it will help us fulfill our green vision goals that we've set out for ourselves. This is why I've been supportive after I felt that we've done our due diligence, and that's why I put out the my memo in favor of going forward. And given the regulatory environment that we're in, it could help us save money and potentially save greenhouse gases as well. But of course, if you're a current PG&E customer and you want to save money, you can always look at your bill immediately. And if you want to save the earth and go 100% green, you can already do that at PG&E without us going forward. You don't have to wait till 2018 to implement this plan. We can act immediately. But what, the risks that we tried to address here are also important. There are risks that our regulatory environment changes that in PG&E. We just talked about one that's happening on Friday. Risks that the energy markets will change or disruptive technologies will arrive, making CCAs no longer profitable, or I don't know what word we're trying to use here instead of the word profit, but a risk that future city councils may make poor decisions and dole out favors using CCE fund balances to special key projects, and risk to the general fund. This is why I put forward my memo. I know a lot of people have some apprehensions about some of the things that I've asked, as far as, well, at least the one thing that I asked about a two-thirds requirement. Now, most of the rate changes that we do at City Council are usually 11-0. We pass most of our rate changes. I think all of us will agree it's almost always 11-0. But when it comes to doing these new projects, like maybe Councilmember Rocha, I'll pick on him here because he's not here, but maybe he has a pet project in his district that he wants funded with CCE money. I think it's important for us to have a supermajority to make sure that no, shady dealings go on here, and that's why I put that in my memo. I want to make sure that no. I want us to be able to study these things thoroughly and make our decisions in an educated manner, as I've always insisted on here so far. And I don't think the two-thirds majority, quite frankly, will matter one way or the other, because like I said in the past, I've been here on City Council for 4.5 years. I've never seen rates change with a single person dissenting, never. But when it comes to these new projects or new incentives that we were talking about, like buying cars, for example, or something like that, those are places where I think that it's possible for some things to happen with future city council. And I don't want to tell anybody here that they're going to make some things, some bad things. And quite frankly, after, when this thing finally takes effect, I'm going to be out of office anyway. So I'm trying to protect our future generations. These are some of the risks that I saw in this mix, things that we are trying to see. And on any given Tuesday, we can actually change rates, for example, which worries me sometimes as well. But I really applaud staff for actually taking all these concerns and putting them in a very articulate memo. And we hope that what we put forward today will actually address most of these and won't be a burden to our taxpayers and won't be a burden to our general fund, and that's what was my biggest concern. So, I realize this is going to pass, Vice Mayor, but I want to give you the reasoning behind where I'm coming from, so that you understand that I think it's a very reasonable ask. I don't, in making the two-thirds majority. I know people are not happy with it in the audience, but quite frankly, like I said, on any given, I've never seen. You've been here for a couple years. Have you ever seen us not have an 11-0 vote on rates. It doesn't happen. But when it comes to like passing these special, incentive programs, for example, I think it might be a good idea to put some more teeth into and making sure that no hanky-panky goes on, behind the scenes. And that's what I'm trying to get to here. A lot of times, we make huge decisions like this without actually doing that. I mean, we make decisions on environmental services, billions of dollars, and we don't really study it all that much because we don't know what's going on. And this is one of those things like the rate markets. None of us are going to become experts tomorrow on what it costs to buy and sell energy. And I'd venture to say, even after all the learning that I have committed to and what I've been doing over the last couple of years on this issue, I'm certainly not an expert. And so that's why I asked for this 2/3 majority. And I'm hoping that you'd include that in your efforts. Once again, on any given Tuesday, you could take away the 2/3 majority. But I want us to start on the right foot, making sure that we could show the public that we are, good stewards of their money, and we are not going to make decisions willy-nilly. And that's where I'm coming from. And I want to thank you for including the other two portions of my memo in it as well. And I'm hoping that you'd allow the third one.
Is that a request for a friendly amendment?
It is.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
And then since I've been in office, we've done a lot of great things, including putting together the PACE program, which anybody could take special tax incentives and put solar on their homes. They can already, like I said, buy PG&E. There's all kinds of things that you could do today to help the environment, and I didn't want anyone to just wait and not know that these things are available, because this council has been very, very good about these things in the past as well as today.
Yes, very briefly then, because I want to highlight what Councilmember Khamis said. So this is not a consolation prize unanimous vote. I was, and I apologize for believing that the supermajority portion of his memo was an if and only if. But as he's just stated, he had intended on supporting this, and so. Again, it's not consolation, and so I apologize for making that assumption, but I'm excited then that we have a unanimous vote that is, everybody is on board for the right reasons, so thanks.